I'm growing tomatoes for the first time indoors this year, and I've been having some issues. Here, let me show you. I started tomatoes about 5 weeks ago, and this is what they look like after 2 weeks. So I did a quick trial here and a separate video where I compared purified water versus tap water. But in general, looking at the tomatoes, they look great. The foliage is dark green, plants look healthy, but unfortunately, about a week after transplant, they started to yellow and develop these nodules on the leaves, indicative of a condition called edema. And edema is caused by watering your plants too much, so the soil staying wet too long, or the humidity being too high within your growing environment. And it wasn't just one plant, it was all the plants. So I knew it was something that I was doing as the grower. So I made the difficult decision here to actually remove the affected growth. And the reason I did this is because if I had left that growth, those leaves would eventually die and they would begin to rot essentially. So they would create some disease pressure within my growing environment, and I didn't want that. So I knew I had to remove it. But here's what they look like today, 5 weeks later. They actually look pretty good. Now, some of the oldest growth still is showing the impact of that transplant injury. Some of the leaves are curling and they got some tip burn, but the newest growth looks great. It's dark green, it's very soft. It looks really good. So I'm very happy with the growth that the plants have 5 weeks later. And so 5 weeks later, the plants have recovered and they're growing quite well. So I'm not too concerned that the damage early on in the growth cycle is going to affect the plants later on. I think the main takeaway here is when transplanting tomatoes, in particular indoors, not to water the soil after transplant. Just water them enough, let them dry out, let them water them again, let them dry out, and let them establish before you water heavy. I'd also like to add here that this seems to be a common problem online. People transplant their tomatoes either outdoors or indoors, and their plants develop these symptoms. So there seems to be a need for some real research here in this area. So I hope you liked the video. Consider subscribing if you're interested in this type of content, and I'll see you on the next one. What do you think, Mr. Chip? Not interested?